The Sodor Cement Works had been one of Sodor's key businesses since 1915 after the NWR's grouping. The works had had their own engine called Fergus until they retired him in 1947 and sold him to a factory in Barrow. The complex had been quiet since then, but had a shift in engines coming and going and arranging their own trains. But I'm afraid to say that the company was getting very annoyed with the disorganisation of everything, so in 1949 the Fat Controller sent Bert. He was an 060 Andrew Barclay who had arrived on the island in 1937 to work there for the time being.
Probably where they want surfing. Come on, you stupid trucks. What did I say about no nonsense?
That wasn't very nice, was it?
But over the past 14 years, the work soon started becoming a bit too much for the industrial, so they decided to bring in help. One afternoon, Bert was in the process of assembling a train together to take to Kelsford Road when there was a honk of a horn.
That sure isn't Dennis. Who is this?
Bert froze when he saw a familiar boxy looking shape for a diesel shunter slowly crawl into the complex. He said nothing, as the colours became more obvious. Grey with a swamp looking green, with their name in white letters. He stopped, and a familiar person got down from the cab of the diesel.
Hello Bert, meet Dodge. The cement works has requested that you get help, so that while you're doing deliveries, Dodge here can shunt the trains together.
Yes, sir. Of course. You know them?
No, I just came from Stratford. Although I've worked alongside steamers before.
Bert eyed this stranger with suspicion, and the Fat Controller caught notice of this.
Dodge, is it possible you can get started with getting some trucks together while I talk to Bert quick?
Of course, sir.
Now Bert, I know what you're thinking.
Please no wait, sir. If Duck or anyone else finds out...
I have made sure to run a background check on him, and he's clean.
From my experience, motives are never clear until they become obvious.
The Fat Controller sighed. He knew what Bert was on about. He said a few more things and left to leave the two engines to get to work. Bert gave Dodge the cold shoulder, but there was something about him that he couldn't get over. He was soon ready to take a train to Wellsworth.
Oh, not again. This is the 5th time today!
I'll be back in about 2 hours. I trust you can get the other trains ready without setting the place on fire?
Of course.
Bert hauled his trucks and made his way out of Rolf's Castle and onto the main line. He arrived at Wellsworth to find Edward shunting in the yards.
Hello, Bert. Just leave those trucks over there. Thank you.
Right, Edward.
Everything alright, Bert?
No, there's a new engine at this networks and there's something about him that seems off.
I'm assuming that's Dodge then.
Have you met him before?
I heard from Chris, actually. He was talking with a diesel at Barrow, and from what he could hear, it didn't sound good.
Bert frowned at this. He was about to move off when Whiff arrived.
Everything alright, Whiff?
No, and you aren't going to like this either, Bert. But when I passed Kelsthorpe Road, Eagle was just arriving there to go to the cement works.
What? Why? Are you kidding me? I was gone for an hour and it's absolutely chaotic.
Calm down, Bert. Let me put it to you this way. It could have been a whole lot worse.
How could it be worse than this?
Oh, good grief. I should have just said nothing. Eagle watched as Bert went around clearing up Dodge's mess. By evening, Bert was sulking in the back of the sheds, but he soon fell asleep. He woke up in the middle of the night to see Dodge coming back from somewhere. The red saddle tank stayed silent as he saw him stopping, and then silent. Bert went back to sleep that night full of suspicion. The next morning, he was able to take trains away again.
If I find this place in an absolute mess again, I won't hesitate to shove you under the cement chute.
None of that was my fault, I'll have you know. It was the trucks that were being a pain.
Just make sure that doesn't happen again. I'm off to Crosby. Things better be fine when I get back.
It appears that the rails separated and your seat down between them. I'm sorry to say, but this has caused your crankshaft and brake ring to break and snap. You'll have to be taken to the works for a while.
Bert didn't know how to feel about this. But his downcast look said it all, as he was hoisted onto a flatbed and taken away to Crovan's Gate, leaving the responsibility of the cement works to Dodge. The red tank engine was silent the entire trip until they got to the works, where he was surprised to find Thomas and Dennis.
And so he jumped the rails and found himself in a ditch?
Sounds like something Gordon did a few decades ago.
Aye, those standards are a good sort, but I feel a lot of them spend too much time around the Pacifics and such.
Oh, I can agree with that. Oh, hello, Bert.
If you're gonna ask me if anything is wrong, everything is. That bloody diesel was...
Dodgy?
Huh?
I was waiting for Henrik to arrive with the kipper this morning, when I saw him strolling past. No train, nothing. He was rather... altered.
I saw him coming back last night. Why, I'm getting the feeling that something's going on here.
I didn't see him coming back, so I don't know what he was there for.
Well,
This made Bert think, what was Dodge even up to? And what was even going on? But I'm afraid to Bert, he won't know for a while.
In other news this morning, there was a theft at Rose Castle Cement Works. The manager, Charles Benson, has commented that this only started recently. There has been no evidence on how or where the items have been taken, but the police have been alerted and are looking out for anything that could lead towards the theft. More on this topic at a later date. Now, back to your favourite hits, starting with Big Iron by Marty Robbins. Woohoo! Copper.
Excuse me, sir. The cement works had called.
Really? How so?
Some equipment has gone missing. We just found it all at Barrow this morning.
Barrow? What was it doing there?
No idea, sir. But some of the workmen claim there was a small diesel scene.
Small diesel, you say?